students, in the subject of mathematics 2, in the first part of vector calculus, here we will see the second chapter, which is a very simple parameterization of curves. So parameterization of curves, then we will see arc length. So here these two parts are very much important and they are very simple to understand because nothing is difficult. And here we will have to study only some part of this chapter, not each and everything. Okay. So here parameterization of the curve means what? Whenever we draw the curve you already know. Curve means what? When you have x-axis and y-axis, then this kind of representation is known as a curve. But here, as you know that we are studying about vector calculus. Okay, so here we will see the representation of the curve by means of vectors. So if we have some point P over this curve and it has the coordinates say x, y, then we can have, if we join this with origin, then it is the vector, and this vector we represent by r1, and this point is a moving point. So if we move this point, then we can get a curve. Okay. So here we know that r bar, as I told you in the first chapter, that wherever is r bar written, you must understand this is xi plus yj. Or if it is in three-dimensional space, then we can write down xi plus yj plus zk. But here we want to see about parameterization of the curves. Okay. So here parameterization of curve means what? Sometimes when we move these points, then this point depends upon the coordinate x, y, as well as it depends on time t also, because with relevant to time t it moves accordingly. Okay. So here we will consider this position vector. R bar is known as a position vector as a function of t. So here x will also become a function of t, y also becomes a function of t, and z also becomes a function of t. And here you must understand that I, j and k are the unit vectors along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively, whereas x, y and z are the components along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. That means normally when we consider this into the constant form, then x is the distance along x-axis, y is the distance on y-axis from origin, and z is the distance from origin on z-axis. Okay. So here we have the parametric representation of the position vector r bar t equal to xi plus ytj plus ztk can be written into this form. Okay. So here we will also impose some condition on t, because time will have some bound. That means we suppose here that t belongs to a comma b, that means in some interval. That means here we will have the curve. We will consider not the complete curve, but we will consider the curve between the 2 points, and suppose this point to this point. Okay. So this type of parametric representation we will call. So here this is when that means the definition of parametric curve is what? Parametric curve, if you are asked the definition, actually this chapter has also less weightage, but sometimes there may be asked the question of 3 to 4 marks, or sometimes of 5 marks, that is combining of 2 marks like this. So parametric curve is what? When the point the point P means that point we have written as P point. Now we will call this as P of t, and this has the coordinates xt, yt. Now we will call this into two-dimensional space. If you may require, we can extend this up for three-dimensional space. Okay, so the point constitutes a curve within the endpoints from the point PA to PB, because here we have considered the 2 points A and B. T belongs to B, PA to PB, which is known as a parametric curve. Okay, it is known as a parametric curve, right? Okay, so here and this is known as the parameterization. The word actually we are using different words for this. This is the parametric curve, and whatever the curve we get is known as parametric curve, and this equation is known as the parameterization of the curve. Parameterization of the curve, and here t belongs to AB, so here we should also write here A less than or equal to T less than or equal to B, or we can also write into this form: T belongs to A comma B. Okay, so here you must remember this thing. So all of you note down this parameterization, then we will go further to discuss ourselves. Okay, now I will rub it out. So now see, in the first chapter we have seen that r bar is a position vector, and this represents the complete laid curve. So sometimes we call this as a vector function. In another form we can denote. So then we have seen that df bar by dt. So now if we consider this as a function of t, r bar is a function of t, then df bar by dt, or we can also call this as r bar dash t, or we can also write this as dr bar by dt, dr bar by dt, or df bar by dt. This is known as a tangent vector. We have seen tangent vector. Okay, because when this is the curve, then this vector represents r bar dash t. That means it is a tangent vector. So you also note it, because it will be useful for us. Now let us see how to trace out the parametric curves. And this let us see by considering simple example. Actually this will not be asked to you in examination, but it is required to understand the concept. Generate the curve over time interval. Example, generate the curve over the time interval (0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 4) of the particle that moves in xy plane with equation of motion r bar t equal to ti plus r bar t equal to ti plus t square plus 1 into j. So here we want to trace out the curve. So to trace out this curve, we need some knowledge. We cannot draw it directly, but we require some knowledge of tabulating the values as you might have done at your school level. Okay, so here as usual I told you that you always start by writing that given that r bar t equal to ti plus t square plus 1 into j. Okay, so and t is between 0 less than or equal to t less. So whatever is given in the example, first of all you note down them point wise. Then after you go for what is to do. Here we want to trace out the curve. Okay, that means generate the curve. So to do this, here we will prepare the table for different values of t 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if we put here t equal to 0, then what will we get r bar t? T equal to 0, that means it is 0i plus 1 into j. If we put t equal to 1, then we will get I plus 1 2j. If we put t equal to 2, we get 2i plus 4 plus 1 5j. If we put 3, we get 3i plus 9 plus 1 10j. If we put t equal to 4, we get 4i plus 4 square 16 plus 1 17j. So now we will find out this point in the xy plane. Here 0i plus 1 into j. Actually it is 1 into j. That means this is the point 0, 1. And already I told you last time that we can also write this point into this form 0, 1. So if it is 0, if it is 1, then we have 0, 1 is this point. Okay, 0, 1. It is the point 1, 2. So 1, 2 means suppose it is 1. No need to take exact measurement of this during the scaling. You can show it at appropriate distance. 1, 2. Suppose it is 2. So 1, 2 is this point. Then 2, 5. 2 is suppose here. 5 is suppose here. Then 2, 5 is here. Then here 3, 10. So you can scale looking to the numbers, you can scale the points near to the origins. So if we draw all these points like this, then we can have the curve in this way, and the direction of the curve is in this direction. Okay, so this is the required curve, whatever we wanted in the example. So all of you draw this curve yourself now and try to practice, and you be ready with your pen and a notebook. Okay, so I suppose that you have seen this example and you have practiced yourself. However, after the ending of this lecture, all of you can try yourself to practice all the examples, whatever being here taught. Okay, so now let us see classification of the parametric curves. That means in a classification, this also we will see in a brief form. Shortly we will see the classification. That means the curve may be a simple arc, it may be a closed curve, it may be a smooth curve, like this. Okay, it may be a smooth curve like this. So here simple curve is what? For example, if it is x-axis, it is y-axis, and if we draw suppose semicircular arc and direction is anti-clockwise, then this is known as a simple arc. So simple arc means what? If we are given the 2 points, T1 is not equal to T2, this implies that R bar T1 or PT1 is also not equal to PT2. That means corresponding to the two different points, whatever the value is here and whatever the value is here, they are also not equal. If these 2 points are not equal, these 2 points are also not equal. Okay, and this kind of situation you might have seen at your school level in the form of 1-to-1. Function is 1-to-1. So here we will not say the word 1-to-1, but this is the property for simple arc, and here P belongs to the closed interval a comma b. Okay, so you must see this, and actually whatever here we have seen, this is the curve for x equal to cos t, y equal to sin t, and 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 2 pi. And you know that x equal to cos t and y equal to sin t, they are the parametric equations of a circle, because if we do the procedure x square plus y square, then we will get is equal to 1. Okay, so this is the point -1 to 1. Here we will not consider 0 to 2 pi, because if we consider 0 to 2 pi, then we will get a complete circle. So here we will have 0 to pi only. So we start angle 0 from here, 0 to pi by 2, then pi over here. So this is known as the simple curve. Okay. Now let us see about the closed curve. So closed curve is nothing but just I will draw a small figure. Suppose complete circle, direction is in this way, anti-clockwise, and here you can see that this is the closed curve. That means if starting point and ending point are meeting together, then this is known as a closed curve. And the same definition applies here, property applies here. If T1 is not equal to T2, PT1 is also not equal to PT2. But here the main thing is that here we will write down closed open interval. Open interval here we have written, because here the initial point and starting point both are same, and that's why due to this the curve becomes closed. So suppose here we consider the same curve, x equal to cos t, y equal to sin t, but here we will write down 2 pi, 0 to 2 pi, then we will get a complete closed curve, complete circle, and it is known as a closed curve. Okay, then we will see the smooth curve. Smooth curve is nothing but suppose we can draw the curve like this. Okay, direction in this way. So smooth curve means what? The curve at every point we are getting the tangent. So smoothly it is drawn. This is also a smooth curve. Okay, so at every point we are getting the tangent. But sometimes, somehow, for the some curve, the curves may not be smooth. Suppose it is x-axis, it is y-axis. Suppose the curve is just like this, it is smooth up to this, but then the position is changed. Okay, so here at this point we cannot getting the tangent, because it is at this point it is making an angular type. Wherever is angular type, then we cannot get a tangent. You must know from your school level that if it is the curve for y equal to modulus x, then there is no tangent. That means it is not differentiable at origin. Everywhere it is differentiable, because everywhere we are getting tangent, but here we are not getting the tangent. So wherever angular portion is there, then there we cannot get a tangent. So here at this point we cannot get a tangent. So this curve is not completely a smooth curve, but it is the formation of smooth curves. That means it is the combination of the two smooth curves. This is the one smooth curve, this is the second smooth curve. Suppose the third one is like this, then this is the third smooth curve. So we can see that this is a piecewise smooth curve. Piecewise smooth curve. Okay. So all these kind of curves, whatever we have seen, are only for our knowledge, so as you can know the type of the curve. When can we call this as a simple or closed curve, smooth curve, piecewise smooth curve. Okay. So all of you note down this. Okay. Now let us see about orientation of the curve. So orientation of a curve means what? That let us see. Here, during the explanation of the previous curves, you must have observed that while I have drawn the curves, then I have shown the direction, specific direction also. I have shown the specific direction also, and that means mostly I have considered anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction, whatever it is. But whenever we study about a vector curve, that means curve, parametrically curve representation of a vector function, then its direction is very much important. That means in its direction the curve is moving or the particle is moving. That is very much important, and that is the thing that thing which we call as orientation of the curve. Okay, let us understand this fact by considering one example. Suppose we are given x equal to a cos t, y equal to a sin t, and 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 2 pi. So here you can see, if we draw the curve, obviously this is the equation of a circle, because x square plus y square equal to a square. That means this is the circle of with radius a. You can see this is x square plus y square equal to a square, and the value of t is from 0 to 2 pi. That means this is the circle, complete circle, closed curve. Now we want to see its orientation. So t has the value from 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So whenever we put t equal to 0, you know that we get the point x equal to 1 and y equal to 0. That means this is the 1, 0 point. Then if we move the angle, actually we are moving the angle in this direction. So if we take suppose t equal to pi by 2, t equal to pi by 2, then we get the point cos pi by 2 is 0. So 0, 1, this point. So that means we are moving in this direction. So after then we can see for all points that the curve has the orientation of this kind. Okay. Now let us see the same curve but with some change. Suppose I will consider x equal to a cos t, y equal to minus a sin t, and 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 2 pi. So here again, you can see that this is x square plus y square equal to a square, obviously. So this is the equation of a circle, and complete circle because 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 2 pi. But here we want to see its orientation. To see orientation, 1 or 2 points are sufficient to observe. So when we put t equal to 0, that means t equal to 0 angle is on x axis. So t equal to 0, then x equal to cos 0 is 1. So x equal to a, and sin 0 is 0. So y is 0. So this is the point 1 comma 0 which we are obtaining. Then if we put t equal to pi by 2, suppose. If we put t equal to pi by 2, cos pi by 2 is 1. So x equal to a. Cos pi by 2 is 0. So x equal to 0. And the sin pi by 2 is 1. So y equal to minus a. Here I have written 1 comma 0, but it is a comma 0 because the value is a. So here it is 1 comma a, 0 comma a. So here we are getting the point 0 comma minus a. 0 comma minus a. Here angle we are taking in this direction. Angular movement is in this direction. But point, when we consider x equal to pi by 2, we are getting the point 0 comma minus a. That means we are getting this point 0 comma minus a, this point. That means our orientation is in this direction, because at t equal to pi by 2 we are getting this point. Okay. So similarly, if you try for some of the points, then you can get the orientation in this way. So here the orientation is anti-clockwise, and here the orientation is clockwise. So you must have observed this kind of orientation over here. Okay. After discussion about orientation of the curve, let us see some of the standard parameterizations. Standard. Sometimes in objective form this may be asked in examination. First of all, straight line. Straight line. Actually, normally at school level you must have seen the equation of the straight line as ax plus by equal to c, or y equal to mx plus c, like this. So if the equation is passing through here, I will write, not writing completely because it is written in the book. So I will only explain to you. If the line passes through x1 y1 and x2 y2, then its parametric equations are represented as tx2 plus 1 minus t into x1, and the y equal to t y2 plus 1 minus t into y1. Okay, and here what is the value of t? It is a line that is, it has the infinite length, so t belongs to R. Okay, so this is the parametric representation of straight line. And actually you must also have seen this as a one type of equation at your school level. And now let us see about circle. Circle, already we have seen about parametric equation. Suppose it has the equation with center h comma k. Okay, and the radius is say a. Then it has the parametric representation x equal to h plus a cos t, and y equal to k plus a sin t. We have already seen the parametric representation of the curve circle x square plus y square equal to a square as x equal to a cos t and the y equal to a sin t. So sometimes if it becomes difficult to understand or study the equation directly into this form, then it is better to convert the equation into parametric form. X equal to a cos t, y equal to a sin t, because your center is 0, 0, h is 0, a is 0. Then the equation of parabola. And you know the equation of the parabola is y square equal to 4ax. Or the another type of parabola is x equal to 4ay, like this, but we will consider this. And this is very much important. You can consider it the parameterization yourself, so as we can get square root of we can get y by taking square root on right hand side easily. So here we will assume x equal to a, so it will become a square and t square. So 4 is already there, now it is a square and t square. T must to be considered because we are considering this parametric representation. So y equal to is what? 2at. Y equal to 2at. Its square root. So this is the parametric representation of a parabola. Okay. So these are the standard parameterizations. Similarly, we can consider parameterization of ellipse. Ellipse has the equation x square upon a square plus y square upon b square equal to 1. Okay. So its parametric representation is it is represented as x equal to a cos t and y equal to b sin t. See, b sin t. So if we put here a sin t, a cos t, it will become a square cos square. A square x square will be cancelled, so cos square. Here again b sin t, so b square sin square, so b square will be cancelled, so sin square. So cos square plus sin square is 1. So equation must be adjusted. Equation must be adjusted here. So there are other kind of parametric forms that you can find or write very easily. This can be asked in the MCQ form. These questions can be asked in the MCQ form. Suppose as one example, if we consider the equation of a straight line as 2x plus y equal to 3, and if you are asked to convert this into parametric form, convert this equation into parametric form, then in the solution process it is very simple. Nothing you will have to decide or think more. Just assume y equal to t. Any one variable as t. Here we will assume y is t. So therefore x will become what? 2x equal to 3 minus y. So x equal to 3 minus y means 3 minus t by 2. So these are the parametric equations. And here you will write down t belongs to R. T belongs to R. Okay? T belongs to R. Suppose the same straight line equation is there. Suppose we want to find out the equation of a straight line into parametric form which passes through minus 3 comma 2 and 2 comma minus 1. Okay. So if we want to find out the equation of a straight line passing through this point minus 3 comma 2 and 2 comma minus 1, then in the solution what is to do? It is very simple. It is very simple because we have already seen earlier the parametric representation of a straight line passing through the 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2. So this is x1 y1, this is x2 y2. Okay. So there we have seen that you should write down some words. That is the parametric representation of the curve is x equal to tx2. Tx2. That means t into 2 plus 1 minus t into x1. x1 is what? Minus 3. And y equal to t into y2. Minus 1. y2 is minus 1. Plus 1 minus t into y1. It is 2. And t belongs to R. So these are the parametric representation of the curve. Then you can write down this as x equal to 2t. It will become plus 3t. So 5t and minus 3. And y equal to minus t minus 2t, that means minus 3t, and this is 2 plus 2. So these are the parametric representation of a straight line. So in examination, in objective form, you may be asked. Okay. So all of you note down this one. Okay, now I will rub it out. Now let us see one example. Sometimes this kind of example may be asked in the examination. sketch the graph of the circle. Example, sketch the graph of the circle r bar t, r bar u comma v equal to a cos u I plus a sin u j plus vk, where u and v vary in the rectangle R 0 less than or u less than or equal to 2 pi and minus 1 less than or equal to u less than or equal to v minus 1 less than or equal to v less than or equal to 1. Okay, so now see, here we want to trace out the curve. So what will we do? This is very simple. By looking to the question, you may find that this is something difficult, but nothing is difficult here. You can see r bar is a function of u comma v. So instead of t, here we have considered u and v. That means here are two parameters, u and v, two parameters, not a single parameter. Up to now, till now, we were considering single parameter. So here, from r bar t equal to, you write down this thing, the whole thing. We can identify x equal to a cos u, y equal to a sin u, because xi plus yj plus zk. So whenever it becomes difficult for you to understand, then you can separate out x, y and z, because I told you that r bar always can be written in the form of xi plus yj plus zk. So if we look at these two equations, we can get x square plus y square equal to a square, that is circle, and z equal to v. So we want to trace out this curve. So how will we find out the curve? It is suppose here we will have to consider a three-dimensional space, because three variables have been given to us. So whenever three-dimensional space is there, then we will give this as x. Always, mostly you give them name as x, y and z. Now see, x square plus y square equal to z square, a square is a circle, and u ranges from 0 to 2 pi. That means it is a complete circle. It is a complete circle, and this circle lies on xy plane. On xy plane or parallel to xy plane, anywhere. On xy plane or parallel to xy plane, not vertically or not in any other form, because x square plus y square lies on xy plane or anywhere. We can draw the circle over here or here or here or below, wherever we require. Okay, but what about z equal to v? Here we can see that z equal to v. V lies between -1 and 1. That means suppose here it is -1, and here it is 1, and it is suppose -1. So suppose we consider z equal to 0. Z equal to 0 means xy plane. Z equal to 0 means xy plane. So here we can get the circle on xy plane. If it is z equal to 1, we can get the circle over here. If it is z equal to -1, we can get circle over here of the same radius. No? The radius is a. Actually, it is larger. I have drawn, but all these circles are same, but at different places. At every point, we can have the circle, wherever the value of v is there, because z equal to v and v lies from -1 to 1. So this is nothing but we can trace out this we can show the circles in the form of a cylinder, because any section of cylinder is the curve circle, and this is our solution. Okay. Suppose one more example, the same kind of example here we see. Suppose it is, I will consider this as 2. V instead of V, I will write down T. That means I will fix out the value. And I will write down this as R bar as a function of U only. Then we will have this as U. Instead of U, you can also write T, cos T, sin T. Okay? So here x square plus y square equal to a square and z equal to T. So in three-dimensional space, the curve is just like this. Here it is the circle, no doubt. And the value of u is 0 to 2 pi, so complete circle, closed curve, closed circle, and it is at z equal to t, not t, but z equal to 2. So at z equal to 2 here, this is the circle, only a single circle at z equal to 2, parallel to xy plane, because x square plus y square equal to a square either lies on xy plane or on at any point on z axis. But parallel to xy plane only. See, parallel to xy plane only. So this kind of curves you can draw very easily. Okay. So in this lecture, whatever we have seen are very much important for you to understand the concept of a parametrization of the curve. What are the curves? What is their parametric form? What is the parametric form of straight line? What is the parametric form of parabola, ellipse, circle, etc. So this kind of examples may be asked in your MCQ form. This can be asked in your as a descriptive form. But these are very simple. Looking to the problem, it seems to be a difficult one. But actually, this is not a difficult, because you read the question carefully and then try to follow. So in the next lecture we will see about arc length of the curve. Till then, during the remaining time of this lecture, you can revise whatever I have taught to you over here. Okay? So we will stop now. And the further topic we will see in the next lecture. Thank you.